Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Emmy Award-winning Fleabag, which you can catch in its entirety over at Prime Video, is a relatively grounded drama, but it shares a deep connection to things beyond the material. There are several allusions to higher powers that are explored, both through the story.
Do you really want to fuck the priest, or do you want to fuck God?
And the special relationship Fleabag has to the viewer.
Shut up.
The show is also concerned with time and our mortal connection to it. Fleabag has an affinity for the past, a direct link to her unhappiness and unfulfilled life in the present.
Are you a nostalgic person?
Yeah.
Boo, her mother, a Fleabag free of the guilt of all of her bad choices, all these things exist and remain in the past. The past is comfort, and it continues to get brighter the further away it becomes.
You're the way you are because of her. And it's those bits that you need to cling to.
To the audience, Fleabag papers over the cracks and rarely shines light on her past in anything less than a positive manner. Fleabag quickly acclimatises us with the fourth wall break.
You know that feeling when a guy you like sends you a text at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday night asking if he can come and find you?
The show here has established that we have entered this very exclusive pact between audience and character. Fleabag continues to deliver everywhere she goes, having no qualms with telling us exactly what she's thinking, even if it's horrible or deceiving or better left unsaid. Fleabag will fill the audience in and tell you absolutely everything you need to know about a character with staggering nonchalance.
Dad's way of coping with 2 motherless daughters was to buy us tickets to feminist lectures, start fucking our godmother and eventually stop calling. He's one of those men who is explosively sexually inappropriate with everyone, but makes you feel bad if you take offence, because he was just being fun. So reliable, utterly inaccessible, relentlessly profound. He's unpredictable.
Just gonna go for a shit.
I'm ignoring that.
Tell the truth.
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous.
It's modern.
So how did you two meet?
Fuck me up there. She's not an evil stepmother. She's just a...
Even though she delivers these admissions to the viewer with whimsy, it is really quite sad.
He hates being alone in a room with me.
For a character that lies like it's second nature, she is relentlessly honest with us.
Shit. I'm wearing the top that she lost years ago, so...
When she is being open and honest to a character without breaking the fourth wall, it's usually a telling sign that some choice details are being left out of the equation.
I opened the cafe with my friend Boo.
Cute name?
Yeah. Yeah, she's dead now. She accidentally killed herself.
Sometimes we're the only person that she can be validated by or have a laugh with.
Don't always know what I'm going to say, okay?
Sorry.
Out of
Out of her when she's driving.
me while I'm driving.
She doesn't treat us like a voice in her head or thoughts and feelings laid bare. Sometimes Fleabag keeps things from us and decides she needs more time to divulge certain things, as if we are 2 people in a dialogue rather than an extension of herself. We're Fleabag's only real friend, in the present anyway. Fleabag is honest with her sister Claire, but more often than not it comes with a heavy risk.
Your husband tried to kiss me on your birthday.
He didn't try to kiss you.
He did.
He says it was more like the other way around.
Her scrupulous husband, Martin, convinces Claire that Fleabag initiated the kiss between them. It's here that the truth surrounding Boo is revealed to the audience, and Fleabag's part to play is illuminated.
After what you did to Boo,
The camera pushes forward here, and she takes a step back. One of the only times the show simulates the feeling that the viewer is pushing back and judging her. When the priest enters her life, her truths become less cutting. There's less of Fleabag telling us exactly how ugly people can be, or calling out the awkwardness and frustration of everyday interactions. When she does look to us, the priest begins to notice.
Come on, tell me.
Nothing. Nothing. No, stop being so churchy.
I'm not being churchy, I'm just trying to get to know you.
I don't want that.
This is a shocking surprise for both Fleabag and the viewer. The show never expands upon the fourth wall breaks in the first season, and never hangs a lantern on the rules behind it. We are not expecting the priest to notice them. The scene cuts from Fleabag looking at us, to a shot of Boo, to the priest. Both the character and the viewers act as components for Fleabag to feel whole. Her burgeoning relationship to the priest is the only one that is tangible, and the only relationship that has a future. In the flashbacks to Fleabag's friendship with Boo, we never see Fleabag break the fourth wall. The viewer, through fourth wall breaks, is filling the void of losing her best friend. So when the priest notices the fourth wall breaks, it signals to us, but more importantly Fleabag, that maybe she doesn't need the viewer anymore. She's found someone else to fill the void. The love that was meant for Boo and her mother has somewhere to go.
Don't know what to do with it.
With what?
With all the love I have for her.
I'll take it.
No one's asked me a question in 45 minutes.
So what do you do?
The first interaction between Fleabag and the priest sees Andrew Scott's character directly cutting into our discourse with Fleabag. From there on out, his place between Fleabag and the viewer only grows. The priest fulfills the void both Boo and her mother left.
Maybe happiness isn't in what you believe, but who you believe.
The priest also talks to someone who never answers him back directly. He is a man of God. They both have an outlet that exists outside the bones of their reality. The priest has given up sex and attachment in service of a higher power in the hope that he might be fulfilled. Fleabag looks to the viewer for conclusions, but we of course never answer. Her destructive nature led to Boo's death, and now the only people she lets in are us. But because we can't talk back or criticise her even when she does something immoral, Fleabag remains in control of our relationship. Unlike almost every other Fleabag relationship, both past and present, this one cannot hurt her. Fleabag is haunted by powers beyond her control.
Frightened.
Of what?
Forgetting things. People.
Fleabag works for herself, she's on her own time, Fleabag is in control of as many things that she can sufficiently exert control over, and yet time and time again, she takes the fall for every screw up, whether or not it was her fault.
I'm sorry, but you just have to see it from my point of view.
Fleabag is a person at odds with herself. She does good things, kind things, whilst also doing terrible things. Bad things happen to her that are the direct or indirect cause of her actions, and other bad things are simply thrust upon her. Fleabag can't differentiate the two. She hates herself for all of it, even when she did nothing wrong. Naturally, if you take control and feel the result has brought nothing but pain both to you and everyone around you, maybe the answer is to give up control, to give up choice, to give in to some sort of higher power.
I just think I want someone to tell me how to live my life, Father, because so far I think I've been getting it wrong.
The show highlights why these structures of divine power are comforting, why there is peace in giving up the headache and heartache of choosing and instead finding peace in following rules and guidelines.
But I know that's why people want people like you in their lives. Because you just tell them how to do it. You just tell them what to do and what they'll get out at the end of it, even though I don't believe your bullshit.
Fleabag's lamentations on the past always fold into being about death in some way. The priest offers a more upbeat, optimistic worldview.
Why would you believe in something awful when you can believe in something wonderful?
Even if she doesn't necessarily agree with them, this energy, this safety, it's infectious. Fleabag is lacking peace and control in her life. Through the church, the priest has found the thing they were both at one point looking for. In a pivotal scene, Fleabag is allowed to let her responsibilities wash away. A character that lies all the time is asked to confess to someone other than the viewer. All of her fears and insecurities bubble to the surface.
No, I want someone to tell me what to wear every morning. I want someone to tell me what to eat, what to like, what to hate, what to rage about, what to listen to, what band to like, what to buy tickets for, what to joke about, what not to joke about. I want someone to tell me what to believe in, who to vote for, and who to love, and how to tell them.
When the priest asks Fleabag to kneel, he kneels with her. They both submit. When Claire kneels for Martin, it is not a submission. It is when she is at her strongest, she uses his words and mocks him by kneeling, thus proving that these power structures can ultimately mean very little.
Please leave me.
I've sacrificed a lot for this life. You know, I've given a lot of things up.
For the priest to give himself over to his heart and be with Fleabag would mean returning to a world without these rules and guidelines. He would return to a world without answers. It's clear that he cannot do this.
It's God, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the worst thing is that I fucking love you.
When Fleabag makes one final plea, the priest admits that he loves her too, but more telling is his choice of words and focus on the passage of time to rectify her pain.
It'll pass.
Like her mother, like Boo, Like every mistake, this too will just become another thing that time will wash away. The priest submits to a higher power, and Fleabag tries something new. Fleabag is no longer afraid to let herself feel things. She takes on this loss like everything else and moves on rather than facing a self-destructive path. Rather than placing her faith in people, or God, or even us, she puts faith in herself. We are no longer allowed in. The final image of the character sees her walking off into the distance, holding her godmother's statue. This statue serves as a signifier to her mischief throughout the series, but in the final episode, a more poignant connection is revealed.
Do you know, I often thought it strange that of all my pieces, you chose to take her.
Why?
She was based on your mother.
Fleabag has been clinging to the memory of her mother in a more literal way than we ever knew. She walks past a bin and the scene holds on it just a beat, making the viewer question whether or not she is going to throw it away. Instead, Fleabag holds on to it, continuing to find comfort in the past without dwelling on it. Now, Fleabag chooses to look to the future. Both season 1 and 2 of the hit series are now streaming on Prime Video.